On show 460, the Model 3 arrives in the UK, 93 miles for Canada in a Model 3, and Etron discounts. Those stories and many more coming up on today's podcast. Well, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. In fact, wherever you're listening around the world, welcome to EV News Daily. First of the month, Wednesday, 1st of May today. My name is Martyn Lee, and I've been through every EV story that I can find to save you time to pick out the things that you need to know. One really big story here in the UK, at least. We're going to be selfish and start with that. You can, if you are listening anywhere around the world that has Model 3s on sale, you can just laugh at us for the next 10 minutes because we've just got the right-hand drive Model 3. Hey, welcome to two new patrons of the podcast today. Firstly, hello to David Kidd. Hello, David. Just became a patron. Thank you so much. And Marlin Schell. We'll add your name to the list of executive producers, Marlin. Marlin Schell, a new exec producer of the podcasts. And as always, thank you to myev.com for helping make this show. If you are in the US and you are in the market for buying or selling an EV, you're lucky because they've built you exactly what you need. That's lucky, isn't it? myev.com is the place that you can buy and sell and learn about EVs, and only EVs as well. We love it. Well, after a long wait, UK customers can now place their orders for the Tesla Model 3 for June delivery. Prices for the standard range plus, which includes autopilot these days, remember, starts at $39,850. A big number. Not too scary. That's the on-the-road price after incentives, though. UK vehicles are priced including delivery charges and the document fees and taxes. $39,850 is the final price that you will pay to get on the road. That is, according to Clean Technica, they already take off the £3,500 government plug-in car grant. It's basically free money that they take off the car. It's not like anything to do with your tax like it is in the US. Compared to the Tesla Model 3 Standard Range Plus, says Clean Technica, the closest BMW 3 Series. Well, what can we find? Well, the BMW 3 Series in basic power and on-paper performance is, we get as close as we can to a Model 3, and that is the 330i M Sport Gran Turismo. Nice car, actually. With acceleration 0 to 62, 6.1 seconds. Tesla will do it in 5.3 seconds. The price of the BMW here in the UK with a level of equipment on the optionals list, if you bring it in line, driver assistance features as close as they can get to Tesla, starts at £42,500. That's £2,500 more expensive than the Tesla. So from that point of view, perhaps you could argue, well, it's reasonably priced. Other people will then look at depreciation, which on Teslas is really good at the moment. Then people will look at the running costs, and if you are charging maybe even for free at work, but certainly overnight, cheap rate, they can be low. Let me run you through the order page for Model 3. Again, if you're listening around the world on this, you can just laugh at us for the next however many minutes because we are super pumped here in the UK to get the Model 3. So we can do a custom order on the UK configurator, the UK design. So the US site has the used inventory icon now. If you go to the US, Tesla.com, you can buy used Model 3s. We don't have that here in the UK. Go straight to the configurator, and then you've got the three prices. So, rear-wheel drive, standard range plus. $38,050 is the price on there, but there are some fees to add to that as well. $38,050 is the price that you will pay for a car that, according to the WLTP test cycle, will do 258 miles. Get to 140 miles an hour. Do 0 to 60 in 5.3 seconds. Single rear motor and a fabulously spec'd electric car if you compare it to what else you could be driving. Here in the UK, there's two options. There's cash and there's hire purchase. Well, you know what the cash is. So 38,050 is the price on the right-hand side. 38,900 is the price on the left. They've added £850 worth of fees, and I'm still trying to work out how Clean Technica got to the price of $39,850, but let's try and get there. Tesla also do what they do on the US site, which is have the after savings price, and I'm not a fan of that, by the way. I wish they wouldn't do it. I know why they do it. Everyone knows why they do it. I just don't like it because everyone's numbers are different. So I don't think it's misleading, disingenuous. I don't think they're trying to con you into thinking there's a lower price. They very easily make out what the price is. I just wish they wouldn't do it. It makes no sense to me. Anyway, there's a cash and there's a hire purchase as well. So finance. So they're saying that if you are doing finance for hire purchase, which is 3, 4, 5 years, 10,000 miles a year that you're allowed to do, you'll be paying £543 a month with £10,000 down. With £10,000 down. This is not a cheap car to get in. This is not cheap finance. This is not the cheapest way to get a car. This is not the cheapest way to take out finance, an unsecured finance agreement on a car, anything like that. Getting a new Tesla in no way makes financial sense, by the way. If you want a cheaper car for the next few years, the cheapest way to do that is with a cheap fossil car. So by no means, we don't want to do that. We'd like those cars off the road, but I just want to make that clear. I'm not in any way saying that you should buy one of these cars or that they are affordable. They are a lot of money. I appreciate that. Let's move. So that's got the partial premium interior then on the standard range plus. You've got the power seats, upgraded audio, standard maps and nav, LED fog lamps. That's your partial premium interior. So if you go for the long range car, which, if I was in the market for one of these, I would. It's all about range. If you're going to go big, go big. Dual motor, long range, 348 miles on the WLTP. I'm not sure you need an EV that does more than 348 miles. I'm not sure that, they will come. They will be invented. There'll be EVs that do 1,000 miles one day. It's not sure you need it. 145 miles an hour top speed, 0 to 64.5. Premium interior. 2 motors, 2 independent drive motors. Torque controlling the front and the rear wheels. Better handling, traction control. Your car can drive on either motor if one of them goes wrong, so it'll always get you home or get you to a service centre. Premium interior, of course. In that, you've got your premium audio, you've got satellite view maps, live traffic, new internet browser, which, by all accounts, I've not played with it, but looks like it's more useful than the previous browser. In-car streaming music, streaming media, all that kind of stuff. Super good spec on the premium interior. Then the performance, £56,050. Now, of course, the range comes down on the performance. Top speed goes up, though. 162, 0 to 60, 3.2 seconds. So there you get your performance pack, and you get all the things that come with the performance car, those added things. What else do you get? The brake, the pedals, rather. Performance pedals, the different brakes. I'm sure there must be more. I'm not enough of a Tesla fanboy to reel them off. But if you really wanted to spec the car up or down, what could the car cost you? Well, at the very basic here in the UK, standard range plus, if you do the cash option, it's going to be £38,900, it says, before savings. But that does take off the £3,500 car grant we get here in the UK. Standard colour black, 18-inch aero wheels. You get the autopilot. You know that. Black interior. Don't go white. Keep it cheap. Don't go full self-driving. That's the one where they add navigate on autopilot and auto lane change. Don't add that. Just get the autopilot. Then you can give Tesla your £2,000 today for a car that costs $38,900. It's a lot of money when you look at the US price. So if you take the US price, you go through the conversion. Yes, we pay VAT. We pay tax on the car when we buy something. So that is the price you pay. The price there is including 20% of tax. If you want to go big on a Model 3 here in the UK and you go performance and you go the most expensive paint that you can get, which is the red multi-coat, which is very, very lovely. You get the 20-inch performance wheels, performance brakes. You get the carbon fibre spoiler on that as well. Go white interior because, costs £1,000 or more. Go full self-driving, which is $4,900 here in the UK. And you can spec a car that is a mid-sized saloon. We would call it a saloon. You might call it a sedan where you are. That before savings costs £64,650, which is an awful lot of money. Look, I know you can't do that conversion from US dollars to Great British pounds. I know it's not as simple as that. There's taxes, there's shipping, which is got to be expensive. The general sentiment I've seen on Twitter today is the price is just a little too high for most people to swallow. And let me tell you why. Here in the UK, if you buy an electric car over £40,000, the list price is over £40,000 before the free money that you get off, the £3,500. If you buy a car that's over £40,000, you are lumped with £320 of what's called a vehicle excise. It's not vehicle excise duty, is it? It's a luxury tax. I need to be careful with this one as I think about it, and I'm kind of just ad-libbing here. So when we drive a car here in the UK, we call it road tax, but technically it's vehicle excise duty. The £320 if you buy a car more than £40,000 is a luxury tax. So you are lumped with that for the life of the car that you own it. Every year, another £320 to drive your Tesla Standard Range Plus. That's because the price of it is $38,050, but you got to add the £3,500 of government grant. If only Tesla, and they don't do anything. I was about to say they don't do anything without thinking about it. I've revised that this year in 2019. There's been a few, I think, missteps in the communications Tesla. And I'm sure they'll get that sorted this year. A couple more levels of management need going in there, by the way, just as a sense check. But it's clearly like the price they've put on the Standard Range Plus is there for a reason. But the sentiment on Twitter today, and I follow a lot of people who obviously are into electric cars, who drive them already, who know what they're talking about. Generally, my Twitter feed is full of knowledgeable people. So I'm in that bubble. The sentiment today was bring the car in at $39,999, bring it in under 40, and you would have had so much goodwill for the Standard Range Plus. But by selling a car for a few £100 over £40,000, you are, in a way, intentionally hurting your customers and making them pay £320 extra every single year for this luxury tax. If only they could have bought the price in a penny under 40,000. Will it stop people buying the Model 3? I don't know. If you are in the market for a car that expensive, is £320 even a big issue for you? So many questions, we won't know. Anecdotally, on Twitter today, I saw lots of people posting screen grabs of you have cancelled your order. Now, that's just a sample size of my feed. But I thought it was interesting. Tesla is generally, within the EV community, loads of goodwill. Apart from the usual Tesla super fans, generally EV fans are very supportive here in the UK. It's a weird day. I don't know why I feel so let down. I don't want to come across too melodramatic, but in a way, a little bit let down. And I've been sitting with this feeling all day trying to work out how I communicate that with you today. And it's a strange one. Thank you very much for listening to my thoughts on that today. I think it's probably interesting to give some of the final thoughts to one of the listeners, actually, who said, and let me just find this. This was an email that I received today from someone who said the orders are open and they were feeling just kind of slightly bummed about the price. Man, now I can't find it. I'll do that on tomorrow's show because it's in my inbox somewhere and I just simply can't find that. Hopefully any more right-hand drive markets around the world. If you're listening somewhere, you'll be getting these soon. We've waited 3 years, basically, for this conversation to have here in the UK. So thank you for bearing with me today. I should say then, what are your thoughts? What do you reckon? Am I being overreacting too much about that price being a few £100 too high? Do you agree or disagree? Let me know. You can leave a comment. You can email me anytime. hello@evnewsdaily.com, and I'll pass those comments on. We went big today because it's a big day here in the UK. Lots of anticipation, and then a little bit of an anticlimax. I'm sure lots of people have bought the car. At the moment, I've been configuring the car all day. I haven't bought one, by the way, and just in case you were wondering, it still says June delivery. You know, when a new iPhone goes on sale, if you really, really want one, you can get in at midnight or whatever it is, 2 a.m. or 8 a.m. in the UK, whenever it goes online, and you order it, and then, you know, within a few minutes, that delivery date is slipping back 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks. All day long today, it's continued to say delivery in June. And I don't want to join up too many dots and 2 and 2 is 5 and all that kind of stuff, but I'm wondering, what's the demand like as well? I thought that delivery date was going to slip as today went on, and it's just stayed at June. Oh, also, who gets the car? It wasn't on the order that you placed your order, as it were, the order of the order. Today, it was reservation, so who had their reservation in early, and then it will also be dictated by the spec of car that you choose. So I would think that means if you went long range or performance, you may get your car before others, but the standard range plus still says delivery in June. Wowzers. If you have ordered one, massive congratulations. I don't want to seem like I'm on a downer today. I'm so pumped for you. If you put the money down, you put your £2,000 down today to get one, I am delighted for you. A little bit jealous, but so pumped. You are going to have an amazing time in that car. Okay, let's move on. Thank you for bearing with me on that one. That was a big one today on the Tesla news. Let's talk about Canada and how the Model 3 is launching in Canada with 150 kilometres of range. Yes, that's 93 miles. And why are they doing that? Well, the Canadians put in a change to their incentive scheme that was designed in a way to particularly harm Tesla. To get the 5,000 Canadian dollar incentive, it has to fit in a certain price window, and none of the Teslas did. So the pricing restrictions, says Fred at Electric today, Tesla's vehicles meant that they couldn't get access to those incentives in Canada. So what's Tesla done? They have launched a brand new Model 3 for Canada only, and they have software locked the battery to deliver just 93 miles of range. That means they can sell the car cheaper. It means they can sell it cheaper within the window. So, in Canada, you can buy this car that does 93 miles. You get your incentive, $5,000 incentive. Then, once you own it, you can then pay to have the battery unlocked. That way, that means the car won't go above $55,000, which is the ceiling, and you still get the incentive. Nice move. Nice move. Let's talk Audi e-tron next. The electric SUV is already getting discounts in the US as it goes on sale. The 2019 e-tron SUV is arriving at US dealerships now and already offering big discounts on them, says Green Car reports. The biggest incentive so far, a 1.9% financing deal on the e-tron. If you want to have yours up to 66 months, they will finance it at 1.9%. Zoinks. That is low. Significantly cheaper than most other cars in the Audi lineup, according to carsdirect.com. Just taking a look at this today. A similar sized Q5 SUV. Yes, it's gas powered, but yes, you'll pay 4% annual percentage rate over the same time, and that's more typical for that price. Talking about the VW ID hatch. I wonder if any people who cancelled their Model 3 in the UK today are doing it because they have their eyes on a VW ID. Okay, maybe not the car that the Model 3 is, but let's give this a chance. The new video went online today to preview the upcoming VW ID. Been released before the order books open. 8th of May, says Auto Express, so 8 days' time. Volkswagen's taken reservations for their first fully electric car built from the ground up. This May, 6 months before the car is released at the Frankfurt Motor Show, customers who want to be among the very first ID owners can make a down payment to secure an early production slot. You'll get it by the end of the year, or maybe if it slips, beginning of next year. The price, though, significantly less than a Model 3. They want it, well, perhaps £10,000 cheaper. And VW are talking about selling the car at a loss just to get the cars out the door. A car that's been selling very well over the years and continues to. It's a firm favourite in the EV community. It's the BMW i3, and the production's now hit 150,000. The 150,000th BMW i3 this week in Germany was made. Since 2013, the i3 is the only all-electric BMW on the market. In the near future, it's going to change as more models are announced, says Mark Kane over at InsideEVs.com. So far this year, sales of the i3 are on the rise. During the first quarter alone, BMW sold almost 10,000 of them, 16% more than a year ago. Maybe this year, 40,000 of them will be sold. It's a great car. My dad owns one. I'm seeing him this weekend, actually, for the long weekend here in the UK. We have a bank holiday on Monday, another 3-day weekend. So I'm making the road trip to go and see his i3. Well, I mean, I'm obviously, I'm making the trip to go see him and family. Slip of the tongue there. Nothing at all to do with going to have a look at the car. This is a story about solar. We'll finish off. Tesla has announced today it's going to start selling its solar panels and related equipment for 38% below the national average selling price. The New York Times reported today, and that story reported by Autoblog. Well, Tesla aims to cut the price by standardizing systems and requiring customers to only order them online. Where have we heard this one before? After reporting a 36% slide in solar installations in Q1, Tesla said it introduced a new solar price and selling strategy without giving specifics, but now we know they're going to be much, much cheaper than anything else you can buy. Tesla making a push into cheaper solar in the US at least. Those are the stories today, I know dominated by one big one here in the UK, and that was the pricing of the Model 3. That was a wait. That was a long wait. Like I say, if you ordered one today, I am happy for you. Man, if you get it in June as well, you're going to be the envy of so many people. Let's talk about our question of the week this week, set by myev.com. Is there a future for independent servicing in a world of EVs? And actually, I had John email me today to say, it's kind of a daft question. Like, anyone can get hold of schematics and, wiring diagrams and manuals, and anyone can do servicing. Actually, I think that's probably what I didn't explain. In a world of EVs, that information isn't as forthcoming. Doesn't mean it's impossible not to have a channel like Rich Rebuilds in the US, but he talks on his channel a lot about liaising with Tesla and saying, what's this? What's that? Can I get this part? Can I get that part? This is broken. Or I, bought a flooded car. And the answer is no. This is a different world. Maybe it's just Tesla, but let me know your thoughts. Is there a future for independent servicing in a world of EVs? Or will this once in a lifetime generation move from fossils to EVs also mean a change of you having to take your car back to the people you bought it from? Let me know. You can email me hello@evnewsdaily.com. I'd love to see a comment online as well. I try and reply to as many of them as possible, especially on YouTube as well. It normally means that I'm either walking to get my lunch or I am, let's put this politely, heading off for a comfort break. Anytime I get to sit down with 5 minutes to spare, I'm on the YouTube app and I'm replying to comments and stuff. My days are super, super busy at the moment, but I want to get back to everybody. So now there's that mental image for you. Time for the empty bit. Thank you very much to 216 patrons. Maybe it's 218 now? I need to check the number. Who keep me going. There are 459 previous shows online, and they're not normally as long as this or long-winded about the intricacies of Tesla Model 3 pricing. If you want to listen to any of those new shows, you can do online. The new ones come out every single day, and you can get them first and free and automatically by hitting subscribe in all of your podcast apps, wherever you like to get your audio from. I would love to make sure that I'm on the right platform for you as well. In the meantime, say hi on the socials. Let me know if you agree, disagree. Am I right? Am I wrong? Have I misread the situation? Always happy to hear a contrary point of view. Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. If you search EV News Daily, you'll find me. Have a wonderful day. I'll catch you tomorrow, and remember, there is no such thing as a self-charging hybrid.